And hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. There's drama on Capitol Hill. Major drama on Capitol Hill. It's like there's major drama every single day on Capitol Hill, because we got Democrats involved. As long as we got Democrats, there's going to be some kind of drama. It never fails. Say it again.
They've become the root of all evil.
Yep, very good point. They have become the root of all evil. That is the Democrat Party. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. If you would, please bless me by hitting the thumbs up and sharing this video. I would greatly appreciate it. I got some stuff that I want to share with you, all of you. Pretty wild stuff. Ooh, is there a liberal in the room? You got me sneezing. Okay. So Jasmine Crockett, all she had to do is keep her pie hole shut. All she had to do is just shut up. Don't say anything. Go somewhere and get somewhere and sit down. But she can't help herself. Jasmine Crockett has taken it upon herself to attack conservatives, Elon Musk, and now Greg Abbott, and also Ted Cruz. Now she's on the chopping block for being censored in the House of Representatives. Personally, when she put out that open threat against anybody basically who's riding in a Tesla or against Elon Musk and the Tesla dealerships, that should have been enough, in my personal opinion, for her to have the termination take place. That's what it should have taken place. She should be terminated. She should be censored because of that, because she was asking people to be violent on her birthday of all days. And I'm kind of upset that I saw her say that video, Shannon. You know why? Because I don't care to know what her birthday is. I really don't care to know when her birthday is. But it's March 29th, and it's getting ready to come up in 3 days. So in 3 days, and I've mentioned this multiple times before, if anybody does anything out of the ordinary, vandalism, keying up a vehicle, same thing, right? Going to a dealership, any threats, any phone calls to these dealerships so they'll shut their doors down, because that's probably going to happen too. They're probably going to put, oh my goodness, there's been an open bomb threat at a facility, a Tesla facility, and that should not happen. But I'm going to go on a limb here and say that someone's going to do it that day. And if anyone does it, she should be held responsible, along with the person who actually did it. But she should be held responsible for it. And of course, the Democrats, who they're all giving her the excuse of, well, that's just freedom of speech is what she's doing. No, it's not freedom of speech. When you're actually calling people to go out and be violent against others, that is not freedom of speech. Not at all. 100% not freedom of speech. Well, because now when she did the whole Elon Musk thing, talking about on her birthday, asking people to go out and be violent, there was no asking for her to be censored. Well, it should have taken place then. And then she threatened Ted Cruz. She threatened Ted Cruz, talking about doing something over his head, on his head. She wasn't censored then. And then she opens up her pie hole, and then she says something about Governor Abbott. Now, for those of you that don't know, and I didn't even notice at first, I guess because I really wasn't paying attention to, his disability, because that wasn't important to me. But according to the Democrats, it's very important to them. And now that she's opened up her pie hole, talking about him being in a wheelchair, and then she comes out and tries to say that, well, that's not what she was talking about. That's not what she meant to say. And of course, she did an X post. We're going to share that with you here in a minute. But she does an X post trying to explain that, well, that's not what I was saying. I was just talking about that he's just, like he's doing some hot stuff. She's an idiot. Can I say that about her? She's a total idiot. What she did, she should have never done it. And Scott Jennings, he did a video saying that whoever appointed her to be the leader of the Democrat Party, by all means, by all means, probably, I'm paraphrasing here, give them a raise. We should get Jasmine Crockett to go out every single day, once, twice, maybe even 4 times a day, and go ahead and just open her mouth and continue to talk and represent the Democrat Party. Sounds good to me. I know a lot of people are for it. Why? Because she just keeps giving the gift that keeps on giving. She keeps showing everybody exactly what the mindset of the Democrat Party currently is. They probably always been here. It's just now they're out in the open with it. They're not even hiding it any longer. But the very fact that she comes out there and talking about Governor Abbott being in a wheelchair, and then all of these Democrats come up saying, well, what about President Trump? You remember President Trump? He was talking about the guy that was, handicapped. And you know what? You know why that didn't stick with anybody, especially those conservatives? You know why that didn't stick? Because there's no tangible proof that President Trump was actually referring to him and his condition. There's no tangible proof of it because President Trump was acting a certain way. But let's just go on the idea. Let me say, not fact, but idea. Let's just go on the idea, like the Democrats are running with, that President Trump did say something about this guy. This was back in the 2016 election. Let's just go on the idea that President Trump was talking about him. Okay? Let's just go on that idea. Why did President Trump talk about him in the first place, if that's the case? Do you know why, Shannon? Talking about the guy when they said President Trump was acting a certain way and the Democrats just took that video and then they found this guy and they put him together and said that President Trump was talking about him. Because, the Democrats, they're very good on, let me give you an example. When President Trump said there was fine people on both sides, they cut out the beginning right before whatever he said and cut out everything he said after that. And he says there were fine people on both sides. See, exactly the same thing here. When the Democrats come out and say, well, President Trump was saying this and President Trump was saying that, he was doing this and doing that, y'all need to look at everything in the full context because they always delete out something. They always remove information that you should know about so you can make a sound decision. But the Democrats don't want you to make a sound decision. The Democrats have this agenda to try to manipulate the people as much as possible. And you know why I think they made the association with this guy and President Trump, Shannon? Because the guy apparently was a journalist or is a journalist.
Right,
I don't even know what he's doing.
Washington Post.
Washington Post. He's a journalist.
Senior editor, I believe.
Yeah, he's a journalist. Yeah, with the Washington Post. What did he do? He opened his mouth and said bad things, lying about President Trump. Over and over again. So the Democrats are saying, and I'm going on the notion that President Trump was talking about him. Okay. The Democrats got this idea that they should be able to say anything about President Trump, true or false. They should be able to do anything to President Trump, nice or harmful. They should be able to lie about President Trump all day long, and President Trump is supposed to just take it and not respond to it. See, this guy was opening his mouth constantly, lying and saying these terrible things about President Trump. So personally, this guy just opened it up for President Trump to make a comment about him. But the Democrats go, oh my goodness, how dare you? How dare you make this comment? How dare you say this, President Trump, about this guy that's been talking nasty about you and been saying all these things about you? He's off limits. No. Maybe he should keep his pie hole shut. It's just like everybody else. Hey, if you want to be treated like everybody else and you start saying bad things about President Trump, you open the door for stuff to get said about you. Right? Like an example. I come on here every day, Monday through Friday, and I'm doing videos and I'm talking about the different things that's happening in the world. And then I get people sending me messages. I mean, highly colorful messages. They haven't been doing it so much here lately because the censorship is still taking place. But when the censorship's not in place, they're sending me all of these highly colorful messages and images and just everything you can think of because I'm saying something. And you know what? I said, okay, I put myself out there. It's part of the game. Am I going to go complain because some white liberal says something that was highly racist against me? And, oh my goodness, look at this. You can't say this about me because I'm black. Not to say that being black is a handicap, but the way a lot of Democrats look at it, they do. I mean, there's even a clip that I'm going to play for you with this idiot liberal on the Communist News Network suggesting that the airplane crash that took place in D.C., as President Trump said, is because of a person who was handicapped. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. Well, listen to the first one here. There's Scott Jennings. This is not Scott Jennings, okay? But Scott Jennings is talking about Jasmine Crockett opening up her pie hole. And all these Democrats, they're like, well, she's not actually saying that. That's not what she meant to say. Listen.
Apparently subscribes to the "if you can't beat them, do what some of them do" school of thought. Here is what the Democrats said about the Republican governor of Texas, Greg Abbott.
We in these hot-ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him...
Hold on. I gotta take it back because there's something that he said in the beginning of this that a lot of people did not catch. Did you catch it, Shannon? Did you catch what he said in the beginning of this? And see, a lot of people didn't catch it. And this is not the one with Scott Jennings. Scott Jennings is going to come after this one. But I think it's important that we play this one first. Listen to what he says here in the beginning. He's talking about Jasmine Crockett. Did you hear him say Jasmine Crockett's name? Because look, I'm going to be honest here. Not every single Democrat would say what Jasmine Crockett said. Probably none of them would say it because they don't want to come across that way. But she said it. But listen to how he refers to Jasmine Crockett. I'm going to play it and I'm going to stop it so see if you catch it. Okay, Shannon, listen.
Apparently subscribes to the "if you can't beat them, do what some of them do" school of thought. Here is what the Democrats said about the Republican governor of Texas, Greg Abbott.
How come he couldn't say Jasmine Crockett? How come he could not say Jasmine Crockett? Why not? Is saying Jasmine Crockett name on, I mean, at least he said a Democrat, right? He said Democrat. But this is the Communist News Network. Why not just say Jasmine Crockett? I'm going on the limb here is because she's a black woman. He's a white guy. He's not supposed to say her name. I'm guessing. I don't know. I mean, I'm just speculating now. But listen.
We in these hot-ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot-ass mess, honey.
Now, Abbott can't walk, requires the use of a wheelchair. Crockett insists she was talking about Abbott's policies and not alluding to his condition, before adding that MAGA can't really say anything because they support a president who has mocked disabled people in the past. It is worth noting, Scott, that she has in the past made a tweet that did refer to wheels and rolling before.
Yeah, and she tried to walk it back and obviously forgot about her previous commentary using that exact same insult. I don't know how the Democrats came to appoint Jasmine Crockett as the unquestioned leader of your party, but thank God. And I think what she should do is go on TV twice as much as she is right now, maybe 3 times as much, because every time she appears and makes one of these mistakes, says something radical, it only further divides her party from the rest of the other 80% of America who can't stand this. But the problem is there's an audience for it. I heard Jimmy Kimmel's audience cheering on Tesla vandalism. I hear the Daily Show audience cheering on attacks on Elon Musk. I hear the human rights audience cheering on an attack on a man in a wheelchair. And I realize this is what the left has become, an angry mob of people who are cheering on attacks on a guy in a wheelchair and vandalism against people who bought a Tesla. It's pathetic.
You hear the other one trying to jump in there?
Oh, yeah.
Stop him from talking because he's making complete sense. And we don't want people to hear what he's saying here. You know what? I'm seeing people ride around in Tesla, Shannon, and for everyone's watching. And it's sometimes like, you know, when I go to the store, when I go someplace, I'm always putting on my beautiful MAGA hat. I mean, when my producer go with me some places, like I'm going to a hardware store or something like that, I need to pick up something. And every single time I get out the vehicle, she sees me. What do I do, Shannon?
Grab your hat.
I grab my hat and put it on. Every single. Now I don't ride around with it all the, you know, like I'm in the studio. I don't have it on right now, but when I get out, I pop it on. You know, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I kind of hope that a liberal will talk to me, but they just kind of look at me and they don't say anything. They just keep walking, like they don't want to talk to me. But I see people in their Teslas, and they get out, and I'll be like, getting the thumbs up. But you know, I don't know. I'm wanting to. I haven't done it yet, but I want to give them the thumbs up for being in the Tesla. But
a lot of liberals.
There's a lot of liberals in Teslas.
They
right?
probably flip you off if you're wearing your backpack.
You know, I thought of that too. So I think I just might do it. Right now. I think I just might do it just to see the reaction.
To it, right?
Just to see the reaction that I get. So maybe they will do that. Tell me I'm number one. How dare you give me the thumbs up? You're number one.
Will start laughing.
And I'm like, dude, I give him 2 thumbs up then. I don't know. I guess I got a twisted sense of humor that way. You know, because I don't mind talking to these liberals. I really don't. I find it highly entertaining talking to them. I mean, I do.
They get so flustered talking to you too. The more you talk to them, the more they get flustered, and we'll just laugh even harder, and they get even more flustered. But you know what? The problem is they never have a common sense argument for what they support. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Republicans can say why, how. We'll talk about common sense things. They'll talk about Trump. I hate Trump. Well, we'll talk about like issues. Well, I hate Trump.
Yeah, everything just reverts right back to...
what's going to happen when Trump is no longer president? Then what are they going to hate?
I'm sure they'll find some Christians.
Oh, well, that's true.
Okay. You know, and then it just come to the real surface that is Christians. And part of the reason why they hate Trump, because with Trump, his stance on Christianity today, how when he's in the Oval Office, he allows them to come pray over him, lay hands on him even, and pray in the name of Jesus. So that's the main thing, because you know when Joe Biden was in office, how many times did preachers and pastors go pray over Joe Biden? Not that he didn't need the prayers, because trust me, he needed them. But how many times did they allow that to happen? Not a single time. How many times did it happen with Obama? Not a single time. And see, me personally, I don't recall it happening before President Trump. Now, to be honest, to be transparent here, I didn't pay attention to politics like I did after President Trump started running against Hillary Rodham Clinton. But I had never seen it. It's like it never even happened. I have another one I want to share with you, with them talking about Jasmine Crockett, and she's being nasty towards Greg Abbott, and that was like the nail in the coffin. So, to my understanding, they've drawn up the papers to censor Jasmine Crockett in the House of Representatives. And I'm not sure what all that entails, but it's not going to make her happy at all, because remember, Adam Schiff, he was censored in the House, and he didn't want to go out like that. So what did he do? He left the House of Representatives and ran as a senator, and the stupid people in California voted him in. I mean, you can't make it up.
I don't know how the Democrats came to appoint Jasmine Crockett as the unquestioned leader of your party, but thank God. And I think what she should do is go on TV.
Yeah, this is more of him talking about Jasmine Crockett again, but it's a little bit longer. It's more content in this one. Listen.
Twice as much as she is right now, maybe 3 times as much, because every time she appears and makes one of these mistakes, says something radical, it only further divides her party from the rest of the other 80% of America who can't stand this. But the problem is there's an audience for it. I heard Jimmy Kimmel's audience cheering on Tesla vandalism. I hear the Daily Show audience cheering on attacks on Elon Musk. I hear the human rights audience cheering on an attack on a man in a wheelchair. And I realize this is what the left has become, an angry mob of people who are cheering on attacks on a guy in a wheelchair and vandalism against people who bought a Tesla. It's pathetic. No lesson could ever be learned as long as you're doing these things in front of audiences who roar when you do it. When you have comedians who are broad messengers for the left making
Scott,
unfair jokes and people are roaring, when you have politicians being vulgar and saying it in their what's the lesson? What's the audience? It says a lot about the audience.
What does it say about the audience? I mean, because they do cheer it on. I think Bill Maher even mentioned it. Jimmy Kimmel, if I'm not mistaken, right? And they're on there talking to, actually was Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel was mentioning, kind of jokingly, never do anything to a new Tesla, right? Never do anything. Really? You have to tell adults not to be disruptive? I mean, come on. We know what he's doing. Everyone knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I think Jennings just made the point that you need to be careful about what you say, because these people are influenced by what their leaders, if you want to call comedians and people in the news leaders, they're influenced by what they say, right? He may be joking, but they're not taking it as a joke.
Yeah.
Right. And when she says, Hot Wheels, he's a hot mess, directly she was talking about Abbott in his wheelchair.
Yeah, 100%.
And then she talks about violence against Ted Cruz, violence against Tesla owners. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Well, we've been talking a lot about this, is even though they don't directly say, hey, everybody get out there and start hurting people, they are indirectly saying it. And the people are getting that message from what they're saying, obviously.
I mean, how many times have Democrats gone out and said that they're out there peacefully protesting when everything's on fire behind them? Every time.
Yeah, and is it a coincidence that after Jasmine Crockett said that, literally in a dealership in Austin, Texas, had 3 firebombs found the next day?
Yeah, 3 explosive devices.
They had
three explosive devices in Austin, Texas. Really? I mean, come on. She should be held responsible. Well, Governor Abbott actually responded to what this nasty person was saying about him. Listen to this.
You had an accident at 26 and you were jogging and you had a very severe injury. And yes, you are in a wheelchair. And I've gotten to know you. You're a personal friend of mine. I take it personally when friends of mine are attacked viciously for no reason. And there's no way in hell that this woman and her ex-post is going to convince me she meant anything other than what we all believe it to be. Your reaction?
Well, Sean, is another day and another disaster by the Democrats. The reality is they have no vision, no policy. They have nothing to sell but hate. And Americans are not buying it. It's one reason why Texas is going to remain red and why Republicans are going to continue to win elections across the country. The fact, Sean, is that Texas is actually in direct contrast to what she was talking about. Texas has ranked number 1 for the most new jobs in America over the past month, number 1 for the most new jobs over the past year and for several years. Texas ranks number 1 for the most new economic development projects for 13 years in a row. CEOs who run businesses have ranked Texas the best state for doing business for 20 years in a row. And Texas is in the vanguard as it concerns the future of the United States, such as space exploration, such as artificial intelligence, such as semiconductors, as well as power generation. The bottom line is that Republican states like Texas are leading the way, and with comments like this by Democrats, we will just leave them in the dust in future elections.
And of course, he's talking about what, a lot of the stuff that Elon Musk has brought to Texas, SpaceX and, in the chip factory when it comes to Apple, right? Our artificial intelligence, both Apple and was it? I guess it would be, is it SpaceX is doing it? The artificial, because I guess it would, I'm not sure if it is Tesla or not. Maybe it's just Grok. Yeah, he brought Grok. What did it say, Grok? Because actually the facility that's down the street from me, they built these humongous GPUs. I mean, humongous GPUs. And they're right down the street from me, all for AI. But here's the post where Jasmine Crockett put out there trying to, backtrack on what she said. I mean, she's a nasty person. And here's the post. Actually, let me do it this way so you can see it. I wasn't thinking about the governor's condition. I was thinking about the plane, trains, and automobiles he used to transfer immigrants into communities led by black mayors. deliberately stroking tension and fear among the most vulnerable. She's 100% lying. She's never said anything about this. And you know, the thing is, when Joe Biden was flying these people into black neighborhoods, they had no problem with it. So now she's trying to blame Governor Abbott for all of these immigrants. And of course, she left the illegal part out, into like Chicago. Because now you have a lot of black people in Chicago upset with the local mayor, Mayor Johnson, no relation. So now she's trying to put blame on Governor Abbott and Republicans. But Joe Biden was the one flying them into these states. And Joe Biden was the one flying them into these communities. They did this on purpose. And a lot of black people still voting for these same Democrats. Literally, the next line I said was that he was a hot mess. Really? Come on. Referring to his terrible policies. And he just listed out his policies. At no point did I mention or allude to his condition. So I am even more appalled that the very people who unequivocally support Trump, a man known for racially intensive nicknames and mocking those with disabilities, are now outraged. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh, thank you for removing that, Shannon. Are you kidding me? Again, all she had to do is all she had to come out and say, look, I apologize if that's the way it came across. Never would disrespect Governor Abbott this way. Please accept my apologies, because that's not what I meant to do. That's not what I meant to say. Now, of course, we're on two different sides of the political spectrum. Things get said out of whack. Would that be bad, Shannon? If she would have came out and said that? Say, I apologize for the way it came across. I can see your point of view, but that was not my intentions.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
And then people would leave it alone and move on, right?
She goes straight into bashing Trump and Trump supporters.
Right? Yeah, she goes right to, a very good point. She goes right into it. Well, of course, there's liberals out there that's supporting Crockett. And they couldn't say what I just said. She just come out and said, look, I apologize if that's the way it came across. That's not my intention. They can't do that because she actually did mean it. And I think we all agree to that.
I think actions speak louder than words. And in this instance, I think we have a president who, when the plane crash happened in Washington, D.C., he blamed it on people with disabilities. When RFK says that autism is a threat to the American way of life, which is a disability, apparently the White House has ended ASL, American Sign Language interpreters, and briefings, which is making it inaccessible. Questioning and gutting Social Security, which a lot of disabled people rely on, Medicaid.
Again, see, this is the same lie that they constantly keep pushing out there. President Trump is not gutting Social Security. He's removing the waste and the fraud, which anybody with rational thinking should be all about that. If he's going to remove the wasteful spending, I mean, why would someone be against that? Well, the Democrats are against that.
Yeah, and I want to correct a couple of things that she said. She said that Trump directly blamed the plane crash in D.C. on disabilities.
I brought that up earlier.
What he did say was, he said, I put safety first. Obama, Biden, and Democrats put policy first. The FAA's website states that they include hearing, vision, missing extremities, partial paralysis, complete paralysis, epilepsy, severe intellectual disability, psychiatric disability, and dwarfism as qualified for airplane controller positions. He was saying that, once again, he is merit first, not disabilities first, right? He was saying we're going to look into it. He didn't say this was a direct. He was attacking their DEI tactics that could have impacted the accident.
Yeah, but just like everything else, they lie.
Right. And then, of course, which, it's okay to bring up, question why something happened. Could this have been a reason? We'll look into it. Right. Then she said about autism. Trump has said we need to look into autism, not to make fun of people, but he wants to know, maybe is there a reason why we have it's growing so much here in America? Let's look into it.
Yeah,
So
then
RFK
Democrats
right?
get real in an uproar because there's been a lot of discussion about how the autism has increased in the country.
But can I say this again is irresponsible by her? Because she's saying things, she's actually twisting what Trump said and interpreting things that she thinks he meant.
And they always,
when he never actually said that.
Yeah, and they always seem to have a black woman on the panel to do this very thing what she's doing, to do this very thing. I don't know. It's just that's been my observation.
Medicare, people rely on, and in his first campaign, mocking disability. Two wrongs don't make a right, but actions speak louder than words. And the policies of the Republican, including undermining special education, ID, the Individuals with Disability and Education Act, making sure that schools are not going to be accessible. Those are the actions of this administration. Those are the actions of the Republican Party. I would rather folks be demonizing those things than...
But to be clear, you don't agree with what she said, right?
Well, her explanation was that she wasn't referring to that policy.
So you buy that.
But here's the thing. If you make fun of somebody because of their disability, I do not agree with that as a person with a disability, as a person who has family members with a disability, as a person who has taught children with a disability. That is not acceptable. She said that's not what she was doing. And so I know Jasmine, and I believe Jasmine if that's what she was saying.
She believed, and then actually
She gave a whole bunch of excuses and explanation before she said that.
Right.
So,
I know Jasmine Crockett, so I believe what she's saying. Really? Van Jones, I don't know. I'm kind of curious. I wish we had the a little bit more after what he says here. Listen.
Yeah. I don't know her yet.
He doesn't know her yet. Right? But I'm pretty sure he went on to say, I'm going to assume here, right, that he went on to say that she still shouldn't have said it.
Yeah.
Right. You remember how when Elon Musk did the, my heart to you sign? I'm not going to do it on here because, I'm on Facebook and YouTube. And they can't. When Elon did the my heart to you sign, they took that and twisted it and said it was something else. It's the same thing here. They take everything and they twist it to make it something else. And liberals, when they found out that Elon Musk was doing my heart to you sign, they still said that he shouldn't have done it. But in Jasmine Crockett's position, they're saying it's okay what she did because that's not what she was doing. Elon Musk wasn't doing the Nazi sign. They know that he wasn't. And they still said that he shouldn't have done it. Jasmine Crockett talking about Governor Abbott in the way that we all know that she was. And they said, well, no, she actually wasn't. It's another lie, a typical lie from the left.
And you know what? I think this is all a deflection. We've talked about deflections in the past when it comes to politics, to take away from what Trump is really doing. This week, Trump announced once again, Hyundai is bringing in billions of dollars into our country, is going to open up a car manufacturing plant. That's actually huge, right?
So I guess Hyundai drivers right now need to be cautious like the Tesla drivers. I don't know. No, probably
you never know. But also, we have where he has gone after Houthis who have literally taken over the Red Sea and will not let any cargo ships or anything go through there, which actually has hindered us getting products quick and fast. They've now had to take a different route to escape the attacks of Houthis.
Yeah.
We've had Houthis fire upon American soldiers, and under Biden, they were commanded not to shoot back or have any kind of reaction to the Houthis. This just came out here recently. This is ridiculous. They are not actually showing how Trump is showing strength on the American platform, how he's putting America first, how he's making a huge difference in our economy, how things are starting to change, interest rates for homes are going down.
So they
They're
deflect.
not talking about any of these things.
So they're
deflecting on little petty things.
Stuff that's not even going to amount to anything, but they're trying to make something stick. You know what? After all of this time, they've been trying to throw everything, the kitchen sink. I mean, you name it. They've tried to throw everything at President Trump. There hasn't been a single thing that they have not tried to do to President Trump.
And now Elon.
Yeah, and now Elon. But just think about it. Can y'all name one thing that they tried to throw at President Trump that they haven't thrown at him yet? I mean, just name it. I mean, they've even tried to get it to where, try to force President Trump into World War III. Remember Little Rocket Man? Oh my goodness, look what President Trump is doing. How dare he? And then he sets foot in North Korea, bringing peace. There's nothing that the Democrats have not thrown at President Trump, trying to make him look bad, sound bad, lying about him. I mean, there's nothing trying to take him out.
I have to say, Trump is one of the most incredible people.
Oh my goodness.
That I have
ever
witnessed in my life.
And I'm glad, you know what? I'm thankful that President Trump is our president. Not once, but twice. He's our president.
Right.
I mean, I get
to experience.
We
this
get to
time.
experience.
Right.
Yes, look what he's doing.
Yeah,
this is so great, so wonderful.
People got to experience Abe Lincoln. They got to experience Ronald Reagan. But I think it's so amazing how we get to experience President Trump.
Yeah.
This is a
and everything that
like
he's doing.
No other in
it
American
really
history.
Isn't. Yeah, it really isn't. And even though things are hard for a lot of people, including myself, and it's just hard times, but I think I'm giving it time for President Trump to do what he needs to do. Because things they have to turn around, right? We hit rock bottom with the Democrats, and the Democrats love the bottom. The swamp creatures, they love the bottom because there's nothing but muck down there. So let me just say this really quick. Someone mentioned on Facebook, and the comment's already gone. Someone mentioned on Facebook asking what is a GPU. A GPU, the best way I can describe it, is like a video card, like you have a computer. Not a laptop, but a computer, a desktop computer, Windows or Mac, right? Dell, whatever. You take a GPU, which is a graphics card, and you put that graphics card into the computer, and then you hook your monitor up to the computer and you can see it. Well, over the years, the GPU processors have become extremely fast, because it's gaming, doing video editing, doing CAD, high-end graphics. The video cards crunch a lot of data, right? So when you have a whole bunch of GPUs put together, you can get something extremely fast. Now, am I explaining? Do you understand what I'm saying, Shannon? Because you're not geek at all.
No,
but that makes sense to you?
It does. Mm-hmm.
So if you take these graphics cards, they put them in what they call PCI slots in the computer over your head, right? But if you take a whole bunch of them and put them together, well, Elon Musk created a really, 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 really big GPU here in Texas. And I think he was building another one someplace, I think north of here somewhere in another state. I can't remember. But nonetheless, he created these GPUs. And when they brought them online, that's why you have Grok right now excelling and going way above and beyond. I don't even use Google for my searches any longer. I use Grok. That's how powerful it has become, because Google completely left-leaning. Grok, now sometimes Grok will give me information that I really don't care for, but for the most part, it's been pretty accurate. Not like Google just leaning to the left and this is the information that we want you to know. And then we'll just put the leftist agenda at the top of your Google search. See, that's what Google's doing. But when you go to Grok, you get the raw, dirty truth. And a lot of it can be raw and dirty. And you might not even like it, but a lot of times, most of the times, it's just the blatant truth. Or there's no bias about it, right? There's no, well, we want to go this way with this and go that way with it to show the information to you. We don't want to do that. It just shows you the data based on what, has been put out in the world. So, Helen, yep. And she said, okay, thank you. So I hope I explained that. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. But yeah, it goes really fast, really, really, really fast. So that's the reason why they connect them with AI, which makes sense because the AI is You know, that's a whole different story. We should probably do a show just talking about AI and maybe take phone calls and get people to call in. Maybe this Friday, for everyone's watching.
Really?
We'll open up the phone lines.
I'm already tired of hearing about
and we
GPU.
can talk about AI.
Will's a geek, though.
A lot of people have questions about AI. I'm still learning about AI myself, but I just kind of curious, what do people think the AI is going to take us? You know, are we going to see Terminator? I don't know. Talking about AI, this is not AI generated, though. Here's Mad Maxine Waters. She's complaining about, of course, Elon Musk. And I think one of the main reasons why she's complaining about Elon Musk, other than Elon Musk working with President Trump, being connected with him, is because Elon Musk is exposing all of the corruption. And I think she's one of the biggest ones in Congress, one of the most corrupt people ever. And there's been reports about her and her daughter and all this wasteful money. Maybe there's something that she's trying to hide. And so what does she do? She goes out and tries to rally people up to be against Elon Musk, kind of like the older version of Crockett. That's what she is. The older version of Crockett. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
We don't care how much money you have, Elon. That's right. We don't give a damn about Doge.
Really, you don't care. And then she's going to go on and talking about Elon Musk, maybe, you know, what's going with Elon Musk not being from America. And then she tops it off with talking about Melania Trump, right? Because, of course, the Democrats are advocating and are fighting for illegals in this country.
We are going to defend the Constitution because we believe in democracy. So many people have sacrificed and fought and died for democracy. And Trump comes along with his ignorant and he don't even know the Constitution. If he wants to start looking so closely to find those who were born here and their parents were undocumented, maybe he ought to first look at Melania.
Really? Melania Trump is a U.S. citizen. She's not a natural born citizen.
No.
But she is a U.S. citizen. She's done the proper thing to become a U.S. citizen. And of course, this wicked person, she knows that to be true, but she doesn't care.
Yeah, she alludes to the fact that she thinks that Melania is a naturalized citizen, meaning that her parents were here, they were citizens, and so by the way she became a citizen. That's not what happened. She came here from Yugoslavia. She was born in Yugoslavia. She came here. She did it the right way. She became an American citizen. And I think it's so, these people don't even know the truth about what they talk about. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
They talk about things and they don't even have the facts. But once again, neither are the people that they're talking to, so they accept what they say is truth.
Yep. If we can, I would like to change it up. I think we just kind of did, right? We're transitioning here. Let's talk about this Signal app. Now, because the Signal app came up, and I'm not sure, maybe you can explain it to me. I do look in the comments. I see people commenting. Maybe you can explain it to me and tell me why in the world does this judge, the same judge that is fighting against President Trump from removing these hardcore criminals out of the country, how does this judge get involved with the Signal app, with them making comments, chatting in Signal? Is this not a DOJ issue? Is this not an executive branch issue? What does this judge have to do with it? But apparently the judge has gotten involved in it. Did they even say what the judge is supposed to be doing? See, this is where the problem comes in. The Democrats believe that the judges throughout the country supersede the executive branch. Like President Trump, in order for him to do anything, he has to get permission from these judges before he can proceed. This is not how it works. They know this. This is not how it works. But these liberals run to these judges that are in this circle that they have to get all of them to fight against Trump. Just like Chuck Schumer, he called it out that they put judges in place to fight against Trump. And that's exactly what they're doing. It's all part of the deep state. the shadow government that they created. Same thing as the deep state.
Wow, Will. So, earlier I showed you a text, right? Or not a text. It was an X post saying how the same deportation judge,
the one I'm just talking about, right?
The administration's signal. There's a open. They want to know all the facts of what was said in the Signal app. American Oversight is the litigation.
It's in this article here
that filed for this against Pete Hegseth. The X post is no longer. They deleted it, which is interesting to me.
The organization deleted it.
Whoever, I didn't even look at who the organization or who had the tweet or text or the X, but it is gone now because people don't want to know. Democrats don't want you to know that this is a circle of activists working against the Trump administration. So lawsuit over Trump administration Signal group chat is assigned to judge in deportation case. This is crazy.
The same judge.
The same judge. They want to know what was in this Signal. They want to bring a case against, or they are bringing a case against Hegseth. And basically they want
what
him
is
removed.
the case?
And they
I'm like, what is the case? What is it that this judge is going to go to Pete Hegseth and say, hey, you need to come report to me and tell me what was in there?
So this is what this article says.
Does the judge have clearance? I mean, if there was some top secret stuff in this information, does the judge have clearance? No. But this is total overreach.
Yeah, listen to this article, which I'm reading in real time because I had the X and it's gone. 5 cabinet members are facing a federal lawsuit over the use of the Signal to coordinate military attacks in Yemen, with the case presided over by the same judge as the Trump administration over deportation flights under the Alien Enemies Act. And you got it right. It is no other than the Democrat activist Judge James Boberg. So I guess the fact they're suing over the fact that they used the Signal app. Now,
I mean, I'm a little confused because if they're suing that because they used the Signal app,
that's what it basically
why
says.
didn't they sue when Biden's administration was using the Signal app?
Right. In fact, that's why they stepped right into the same shoes that
come on,
the Biden administration has stepped out of.
Come on.
I know. But guess what? This is none other than an activist group. It's called American Oversight. And this is an activist group. It says American Oversight is an activist group and litigation organization focusing on filing open records requests targeting Republican interests, especially in the administration of President Donald Trump. The organization was launched in March of 2017 following and in response to the election of President Trump's inauguration, and it is headquartered in Washington, D.C.
So to be clear, this is the organization that is behind the lawsuits going after President Trump for just about everything.
Well, many of them.
For many things.
They've requested over 1,000 open records, and they've launched 56 lawsuits against President Trump since 2018. And then I said, okay, well, where'd this group come from? It says the origins. In 2017, dozens of high-dollar left-wing political donors met in Florida resort to hear about a proposal to produce a steady stream of open record requests and lawsuits against Trump, his administration, and his family as a means to, guess what, Will, generate anti-Trump media coverage. The overall strategy was defined as resist the normalization of Donald Trump. We've also heard that parroted in the left-wing media, with the ultimate goal to defeat him in the 2020 or through impeachment, which they did twice. So this started in 2017 and still is operating today.
So this is one of these left-wing organizations that's working, it's part of the shadow government, working to try to take down President Trump. And this is their sole purpose in life.
Man, let me tell you what, when you start researching this stuff, I mean, it's just, these people are all connected. Melanie Sloan right here, she is one of the chief advisors of this litigation organization. She's been on all kinds of media outlets, CNN, MSNBC, NBC, CBS. She's a normal commentator on these things, parroting anti-Trump rhetoric. And it just goes on.
So it just goes full circle. All of these people are connected.
All these people are connected and will literally.
There's a lot of money involved.
Guess what? Yeah. This organization, I think I made it too big, has a revenue of almost $8 million.
So where are they getting their funding from?
Where are they getting their funding? There are some links to USAID, not solely.
So it's not saying that they're getting their money directly from USAID, but there is some connections.
They've gotten some. This guy right here. Well, I didn't even know about this guy. Maybe some people watching this have. He's like a George Soros. He's a total liberal. He's out of Swiss. He's a Swiss
Sweden
philanthropy guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's worth $4.8 billion. He is a huge anti-Trump person. He makes his money off of environmental efforts. So naturally, he's against President Trump. But he's one of the number one funders of this American Oversight Committee that is anti-Trump.
Oh, but I thought they said that all of the billionaires were Republicans.
Well, you got Soros. You got this Hans Gore Wyss. I've never heard of him. Have you ever heard of him before?
I never heard of him either.
Yeah. I mean, he has several organizations actually that are anti-Trump. There's like 4 or 5 of them that he funds. If
you haven't already, can I ask y'all to hit the thumbs up for me so more people will see this information? Because I'm pretty sure, looking at the comments, various places, people are saying they never seen him either. So can y'all let me know? Can y'all hit the thumbs up for me and share this video? Because a lot of people need to see this information. A lot of people need to see this information.
These Democrats, they are so well funded. And that's why these campaigns work so well. That's why you have people in Jimmy Kimmel audience that are cheering, because the money has manipulated the masses. That's my line today. The money has manipulated the people.
Well, talking really quick, talking about some of this, the messages, text messages, the Democrats, they assume what was happening in the Signal chat app, the chat. They're assuming what took place. They're telling the American people, well, this could have happened and that could have happened. Everything that they're saying never happened, but they're saying, well, it could have, and because it could have, it's really that bad. They're acting like it actually did happen. So they said it's this bad because it didn't happen, but it could have happened. Well, one of the things they were saying in the chat, apparently that came out, is that what is it about Europe? That Europe need to start basically manning up, paying their own share, fair share. They need to start doing their own defense, right?
Yeah, they do. We pay
what
for
is wrong
Europe's
with that?
Military defense. Why do we do that? We do the same thing for Canada.
What is wrong with that? Am I missing something? Do I need to come and defend your home? Why do you need me to defend your home? You should defend your own home. Let me reverse it. I need for all of y'all watching right now to come to my home and defend it for me. Don't worry about yours. Come defend mine. That don't even sound right, does it?
And then I'm going to trash you in public as much as I can.
Yeah.
And then,
exactly. Well, this is what they were complaining about on the Communist News Network. And of course, the same black female.
Ashley Allison.
What about them talking about Europe? So maybe Europe should get off their backside and start doing for themselves and stop looking at us to do everything for them.
What about calling Europe pathetic?
They are pathetic.
In those messages.
Calling
Europe, our allies.
Our allies.
They say that publicly. I mean.
Well, there was that.
Are you under any illusion that we're out here telling Europe how great they are as a public matter? There is a standoff going on right now between the president and the vice president and the leaders of Europe about what they need to be doing to secure their own countries. And by the way, they're right. They do need to step up and do.
Yeah, they need to step up and do something.
They've even admitted they need to step up when it comes to like NATO.
Well, you know why, right?
Of course, because Trump's putting pressure on them, and Trump's about to, if he pulls out completely,
cutting off that money.
Huge Trump.
Cutting off that money.
Trouble.
They cut. I'm telling you, you cut off that money, they start reacting.
And by the way, I
differently.
want to bring up something that we found out today, that this guy, this Washington Post reporter.
Is the X post?
This is the post that.
You want me to show that?
The guy released.
You want to show that?
You can. This is the post that he released. That he says this is the war plan. You know, it says team update, time now, says the time, weather is favorable, just confirmed, CENTCOM, we are a go for mission launch. Will, do you know what they're talking about right there?
No.
F-18's launch. Do you know where they launched? What they hit? Do you know where they're going to launch
No,
at?
we already knew that they were
Now, this is a war plan.
Wait a
You
minute,
should
wait a
know,
minute.
Will.
Wait a
You
minute.
should know if this is a war plan.
Wait a minute. Hold up.
know where
Wait
the
a
target
minute.
is.
Hold up. Wait a minute. What's the date on this? So when were they doing this? Because you remember,
March 15th.
remember last week, they were showing videos of these planes, these F-18s taking off from the aircraft carrier.
That was after. That was after. That's
Yeah.
what he's saying. He's saying, I was in the chat.
I mean, but look, we got that information too.
Unfold.
We got that information. We got to even see it in a video.
Well, it was afterwards, though.
Still.
He's saying he got it before.
No. Well, yeah, they posted the video, though, showing operations
Well,
taking
sure.
place.
Well, sure.
My point is that they're saying it here in the text, and then they showed us in the video.
Yeah.
There's no issues here.
Yeah, so the problem
There's nothing in these
there's
texts.
nothing here.
There's nothing in this
They're not
message.
saying what was going to be hit. They're not saying who the person that was being targeted. They didn't give any names. They didn't do any of that. In fact, a lot of people Pete Ducey was doing a report today, and he said, honestly, the Houthis know we're coming after them. Okay,
Of course.
that's
President
not
Trump
a
already
surprise attack. We
Right.
told them if they keep doing it, Trump said it's going to rain down on you. Right, Will? It was in the news. So this happening shouldn't have been a surprise. I mean, there's no intel in here. He couldn't have passed it on anything, and people would have been out. Okay, they're going to hit this
I'm
base
like
at
really
this time.
looking in this thing for the most damaging security leak in
Right.
American history, according to the Democrats.
Right, and actually, this idiot that posted it, he said there is simply no universe in which this is not classified information.
What? What's classified about this?
There's nothing. It could be sensitive. I mean, I guess you don't want it out there, but there's nothing specific that anybody
But this
could
is
go
not going to be
say.
marked with the C. Remember Hillary Clinton talking about, was it marked with the C? Because she had documentation.
That's right.
She had documentation that was marked with the C. And then they were like, well, what does the C mean? And I'm like, what do you mean? What does the C mean? I think any rational thinking person knows what the C means. It means classified. Or does it mean cookie? C is for cookie. Is that what it means? C is for cookie? I don't know what the cookie got to do with the secure document, highly classified document.
Before we go, we learned that this reporter has been known to put a fake name on a text.
You're talking about the reporter that was in the group.
Chat.
That was in the chat.
His name was, a different name was attached to his phone number, and he sent it as a contact. And so he does this to people and thinking that they're getting one person's name and phone number. He's hoping that they'll respond to him and give him information. He's a sleaze, just like Trump said. And so Waltz said that the number that he was that was in the signal he thought was going to a different person, and that person never got into the signal. It was the reporter that was in the signal because they got a false contact with his name on it. And so they said they're researching it right now. Walt said, listen, I'm taking full responsibility in the end, but we're looking into how this different name got attached to his number. And he's been known to do this. So he's a sleaze. Yeah,
he's a total sleaze. Yep, that's it. Wow. This hour went by really fast.
Yeah, we did a lot in an hour, didn't we?
It went by really fast. And I got so much more to share with you. Oh,
there's just no way we can do it all.
Yeah, there's just no way that I can fit it all in 1 hour. So, hey, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Please, if you would, go to my website, uniteamericafirst.com on the way out. Uniteamericafirst.com. Please support me. Help me keep the show going. I need your support more than ever. I can't stress it enough. The Democrats, what they've done to me on, especially on Facebook, and they've really targeted me. And hopefully President Trump will do the digital Bill of Rights to bring it all to an end, to stop it all. But nonetheless, if you would just go to my website, uniteamericafirst.com/donate to support me. God bless everybody. See you tomorrow.